think we should just get into the highlight tape. We can watch it, we can commentate on it, and just watch the King do what the King does. I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna share screen with you.
Let us not forget teaming up with DeMar DeRozan too,
I mean,
which
yeah,
final score was 106 to 104. I'm like, how you got two NBA players on your team and you're only winning by two?
yeah. Oh, they only won by two. That's kind of crazy. It's a little sharp with the the crowd yelling there in the background. It is just crazy to watch like LeBron because this is technically a high school gym, right? I think they just put in the NBA 3-point line, but just how massive he looks. I mean, look at that, like two strides from the wing and he's already at half court, like effortless. Did you
I
see?
want to I want to see the roster of the players that he was facing.
Yeah. Did you see like the face, the stills of the guy who was guarding him? It looked like his
No,
soul had left his body. His eyes are just all like going crazy. He's like, "What do you want me to do?" Is that Quavo? Looks like Quavo.
I think it was, and I think it was Offset that was there too,
I thought they were beefing.
or Takeoff. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, LeBron just doing LeBron things. He's getting to the cup,
Why does it
throwing
look
down the
like
hammer.
LeBron every time he runs down the court, he looks like he's got to take a shit? Like it kind of looks like he's prairie dogging a dookie right now.
Probably doesn't want to blow up that bathroom. The baseline turnaround jumper was on point. There's like
I
5 clips of him.
that that turnaround jumper is a tough shot to hit, and he makes it look so effortless.
Especially fading over your shooting shoulder. Obviously, LeBron is LeBron, but I always found it more difficult as he
Almost
almost
took the
breaks
fucking rim down.
breaks the rim here, very Shaq-esque, if you will. But I always found it more difficult to shoot over a turnaround over the right shoulder as opposed to the left. You just don't get as much momentum going.
Just absolute hammers it right there. I'm just saying, you got to put some respect on LeBron's name. Year going in year 20. I mean, this dude is just. I know he's probably facing some fucking D3 athletes right here, but even last year with the stats that he was putting up and everything like that, it's pretty impressive. This guy is technically on the outside of his prime, and he's putting up 42 points, 16 rebounds in the Drew League.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd say most of these guys are overseas players. Um, the first time I've seen LeBron play defense in his whole career, and he still gets blown by. Mm.
Did DeMar DeRozan even play in this game?
He just passed it right there. He's wearing
Yeah, but I
the.
mean, like, did he even do really anything?
I saw a
Feel
couple highlights of him making
I feel
shots.
like he might have just got overshadowed by Braun.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So that was that. And I mean, were you impressed, Tyler? Obviously, we said the level of competition wasn't really there. 42 points in the Drew League. I mean, I'm not really ready to say LeBron is back. Obviously, the Lakers had a subpar season last year. But what do you think about this performance?
I mean, you have to be impressed. I mean, 42 points, 16 rebounds, 4 steals, like I said. I mean, the guy was balling out. I mean, a lot of the times, they're like, "Oh, 42 points, that's nothing in the Drew League." But, it's definitely a culture shock going, as you said, from a huge NBA basketball court to a high school gym, you know, eh, surrounded by fans that literally look and feel like they're on top of you. I mean, I'm just very in awe with LeBron at this point in his career. I feel like we're witnessing history. We're witnessing someone that's exceeding expectations or what we should expect from a 37-year-old going into his 20th year. I mean, this guy is one of the best ever, if not the best, and he continues to prove it. I'm just utterly shocked by LeBron and his skill set and how he keeps producing the way he is.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he's still like producing in his NBA career. However, do you think he would still be pursuing his career at this point if Bronny, if there wasn't a potential for him to team up with Bronny? Like 20 plus years in, or you said this was year 20?
Yeah.
So, I mean, not many players have done it. I think Kobe did it, right? He did 20 exactly. I think if LeBron wants to play with Bronny, he's going to have to do 22 at
Yeah.
least.
I mean, honestly, I feel like LeBron and Brady are like cut from the same cloth. They're those two guys that, just love the game so much that they can't even picture themselves outside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think even if Bronny, was not even a basketball player, I think LeBron would still be playing. I think he would still be producing. He would still, have that love for the game. And I mean, I think like if we're talking like LeBron's putting up 10 points a game and, struggling to, you know, play every single game or struggling to play half the games, and yeah, that would be a different story. But this dude's literally, putting LA on his back at the end of the day with AD being injured last year, Russell Westbrook being MIA. But I mean, this guy is if he had the players around him like maybe he did on the Heat, this would be a different story. This guy is a legitimate all-star, obviously, but I mean like a legitimate, playoff I guess he's any team you put him on is a legitimate chance to make the playoffs or even the NBA finals.
So that begs the question. Obviously, quarterback isn't the most taxing position in the NFL, when you compare it to defensive guys, linemen, running backs. What do you think is more taxing on the body, playing quarterback in the NFL or playing, in the NBA and playing all these minutes where, it's what, an 82 game season, a bunch of road trips. You really, I feel like playing at a higher level more often in the NFL. What do you think about that comparison?
I mean, honestly, I think if we're talking positionally, I mean, on the body, it has to be NBA. I mean, you're running more, you're more physical in terms of like the amount of steps you're putting into it, the amount of movements you're making, the harsh, sharp cuts that you're making. Plus, you're playing against very athletic guys at all aspects of the game. Where quarterback, there's the potential you get hit. Maybe you get hit 5, 10 times, 15 times a game. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, it's gonna hurt like a bitch, but at the end of the day, I think what's more taxing probably definitely basketball. So I mean, looking at it year 20 for a basketball player and still putting up these numbers, it's just incredible, what LeBron does training wise and getting his body right for the season.
Yeah, he really does a good job with that. Obviously, these statistics are a little bit skewed. The NFL has, much larger rosters. There's a lot more competition between positions. But the average NFL career is 3.3 years. Average NBA career is 4.5. So typically, the NBA player would have a longer career. And as we're on the topic of NBA, Tyler, obviously one of the biggest names in free agency this year, or rather just in trade talks, we should say, Donovan Mitchell. There's been a lot of speculation of him potentially joining the New York Knicks. I have here pulled up 5 ideal Donovan Mitchell trade scenarios from the Utah Jazz. The first one says Donovan Mitchell lands with the Heat. Jazz get Tyler Hero, Omer Yurtseven. Here we go, Tyler. Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jovic, I think he's a
Yep,
rookie, right?
he's the rookie from this year's draft. Yep.
And 4 future first round picks. He get Donovan Mitchell.
Jesus.
I don't.
Very lopsided trade. If I'm
Yeah.
the Jazz, I'm taking that all day long.
Like what?
You
Like
know.
Donovan Mitchell, he's a bona fide all-star, but how much is he worth? I mean, that's a lot right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a first round pick with Jovic. I mean, Hero was a first round pick. I don't know the other guy because I don't know what you said with his name.
Omer
Um,
Yurtseven.
Homer Yurtseven. I've never even heard of that
I
guy,
don't
but
know.
four first round draft picks, that's a lot. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he's worth that much. I personally think Donovan Mitchell is probably like a top 30 player in the NBA.
hmm
You know, I maybe top 25. I feel like 30's a little mean,
hmm
but I would give up something like that for like a Kevin Durant. Four first round draft. I feel like they don't really value first round draft
Well,
picks like they do in the NFL, I guess.
do you think Durant is still worth more than Mitchell though? I mean,
Oh, 100%.
he's further into his career. He's had a long list of injuries. Like who
He's only
knows if he's
33.
yeah, but who knows if he's still playing at that high caliber level.
I think Durant could easily play into his close to his 40s, if not his
hmm
40s. I think he has that many
Uh,
years left. I mean, yeah, he's been in
I
the
don't know
NBA
about
since
that
he's
one.
been 18, 19, but I think you could find a place where you could say Kevin Durant, don't move around as much and just shoot the threes, just be a scorer, be your natural self. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
feel like I could see.
maybe they'll
I feel
have
like I could see that.
bionic knees by then, and he'll be good because he needs some kind
And a
of help.
bionic hairline.
Yeah. Well, LeBron, clearly him, Brian Urlacher, Deion Sanders, they all must go to the same barber because,
Jalen Rose.
yeah, all those guys. Nah, I thought Jalen
Jalen
Rose
Rose,
always had a good head of
he
hair.
sold his soul for a freaking great hairline. But I mean, I
Yeah.
I think that's too much. If I'm the Heat, that's a lot to give up to get Donovan Mitchell. I mean, plus, ah, I mean, you have Kyle Lowry, you have Bam on the bio,
hmm Well,
Jimmy Butler. I'm fucking forgetting about the best player on the team.
I
Don't they
don't,
have
yeah,
Victor Oladipo too?
yeah. I don't really know how Mitchell and Butler would be able to share, the court together. I feel like they're both kind of similar players.
Well, how Lowry would even fit into that too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lowry was hurt obviously in the playoffs last year. Or this year, I should say, last season. He wasn't really doing too much. You could tell he was fighting through. I think he had like a hamstring injury, but he's definitely getting up there. His production hasn't been as good. Tyler, this is one you might see more interesting, and I'll be interested to see your opinion if it's worth it or not. Mitchell gets sent to the Nets. Jazz get Ben Simmons and two first-round picks, and the Nets get Donovan Mitchell.
I would take that all day long. I mean, I mean, I've been a key proponent on obviously seeing what Ben Simmons has to offer the Nets before we just get rid of him already.
Yeah.
Hasn't suited up for a single game. So I would like to see Ben Simmons suit up for the Nets and make my decision off of that with a grain of salt, of course, because he hasn't played in so long. But I mean, if we're talking Donovan Mitchell for Ben Simmons and two first round draft picks, that's a no brainer as a Nets fan. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I feel like then you get Kyrie with Donovan with like that would make everybody want to stay there, you
Right.
know. But then again, are we getting into the with the James Harden situation where we had the big three, and then we're getting all into there's only one ball.
Yeah.
People start getting mad. So
I don't know. That might be a little bit too much firepower, star power on a team if they had all those guys.
I would
But
do that in a heartbeat, though. In a
and
fucking
but
heartbeat.
okay, looking at it from an unbiased opinion, is it worth it from a Jazz standpoint to get Ben Simmons and two first rounders? Because
Well, I
like the
mean,
Jazz, they've been in the playoffs how many years in a row? They're kind of on the cusp of it. I feel like Ben Simmons and two first rounders is kind of like a starting over type trade
well, I
where
mean, they got rid of Rudy Gobert, don't forget. So
yeah.
they are kind of starting over. The Jazz are in a complete rebuild at this point once they get rid of Donovan Mitchell, which whoever they trade him to. So I think as many first round draft picks as they can get, that's going to help. I think Ben Simmons would be more of a piece that the Nets would offer to the Jazz to get more capital for him later on, you know?
Hmm.
So, hey, we'll give you Ben Simmons and 2 first-round draft picks. You potentially get rid of Ben Simmons for some draft picks too as well, or have him in a trade to get move some cap. But I mean, I don't think that's I think they would only really do that if they didn't have, and I'm talking strictly with the Jazz, if they didn't have a better trade to take.
Yeah. Well, this one is probably the best one I've seen thus far. Donovan Mitchell to the Hornets. Jazz get Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, 4 future first-round picks. Hornets get Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gay. So really, I guess the question is,
Rudy Gay's still in the league.
oh yeah, baby, Husky for life. Let's go.
That
Um,
dude's been in the league since I've been out of the womb.
seems like it, honestly. He's definitely, been a journeyman at this point in his career, kind of hopping around teams. I guess the question is like, how many first round picks do you want to give up for Hayward, or for Mitchell? Because I like this from a standpoint of players' perspective. You get Rudy Gay. I think at this point in his career, he's probably about even with Kelly Oubre as far as like wingmen go. Gordon Hayward.
Stop it.
Okay. I mean, I like Oubre. He hasn't really done much yet. Like, in my opinion, he hasn't really shot the three ball well enough to be deserving of like a legitimate 6 man position. I mean, again, swag god off the court. He has a fun, entertaining play style. I enjoy watching him, so I wish him the best of luck. But I feel like Rudy Gay and Donovan Mitchell in that locker room with LaMelo Ball. They have some young guys, Book Night. You know,
Stop.
they can what?
Always bringing up UConn guys.
What do you mean? He was a first round pick last year. They got to get him developed. You act like I'm saying, oh yeah, Shabazz Napier deserves a comeback or something.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, I think Donovan Mitchell would be a good mentor for LaMelo Ball. I think they would, play well with each other. Both good scorers, prolific scorers. They can pass the ball. The big question is it worth that many first round picks?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question to ask because the Hornets are obviously a super young team. They would probably want to build 4 potential all-stars around LaMelo Ball. It doesn't look like I doubt that they're signing Miles Bridges back after what happened in the offseason. Maybe they do. But, I mean, you're absolutely right. That's a lot. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he's worth four draft picks. I would consider 2 in a player like that Nets trade. But
Mm-hmm.
they are also getting rid of Gordon Hayward high in terms of cap that he's taken up. And then Kelly Oubre, probably not that great in terms of cap space. So getting rid of a lot of cap, also, getting rid of you got to weigh the pros and cons. I probably wouldn't do this as a Hornets, GM. I'd probably try and figure out a way to get it down to 2 draft picks, getting rid of those guys. If I have to add another player, I do. But, as long as I get LaMelo with Donovan Mitchell, potentially getting him more players in the draft in the future or free agency, I think that's maybe they would go after guys in free agency a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's a good perspective for sure. Moving down the list, we got Donovan Mitchell to the Pelicans. Pelicans get Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gay. Jazz get C.J. McCollum, Devontae Graham, and 2 first-rounders. I don't know about this one. Obviously, the Pelicans, there's a lot of mystery within that organization. They just got C.J. McCollum. They just paid Zion a boatload of money, after, he's played 3 years and he's, 3 seasons, I should say, and he's only played 82 games. His numbers were good when he did play. I was talking to someone recently. I looked up the stats. I think he averaged like 23 second year, like 20 something his first year. So when he's on the court, he's been productive. But the big question is how healthy can he stay and how long can he stay on the court? I think CJ McCollum, like, I don't know if it's worth giving up CJ McCollum and 2 first-rounders. Like, I think you're still, like, to me, McCollum and Mitchell are kind of in the same category. I would give Mitchell like a little bit of a leg up. just because of, how more like athletic he is. I feel like he's better getting to the hole, scoring at the rim through contact. But if you're talking about a team like the Pelicans, you got Zion, you got Ingram, who's still pretty young. He's coming into his own. I would want to hang on to those first round picks, and I would say let's see what we got in CJ. See what he can do with Zion and Ingram, in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, from a Pelicans perspective, I really like this pick or this, draft stipulation. I think getting rid of McCollum for Donovan Mitchell I think it would be more beneficial to the Pelicans play style. I mean, they're probably going to want to go a little bit faster. Obviously playing with Brandon Ingram, Zion. They're probably going to have to add some other guys, but I like this. I would love to see the tandem between Ingram, Williamson, and Donovan Mitchell. I think, 2 first rounders again. I think that's a good kind of stake to have it at. Getting rid of CJ McCollum clears up some cap space. I would love to see actually Mitchell on the Pelicans. I think they would be an all-star team, no doubt, next year.
Mm-hmm. So Tyler,
when healthy,
the current New Orleans Pelicans roster, Jose Alvarado. I'm just gonna name kind of the key guys. Devontae.
Forrest Great.
What? Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, that's right. I got the colors mixed up. My bad.
Devontae Graham, Jackson Hayes, Willie Hernangomez, Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, Trey Murphy, Larry Nance, Tony Snell, Garrett Temple, Jonas Valanciunas, Zion Williamson.
I love Jonas Valanciunas.
Where do you put this team finishing next year, and where do you put the team with Mitchell, and Rudy Gay as opposed to CJ and Devontae Graham? I think right now with this roster, they're a top 6 team in the West.
I mean, I could see that. I think they would probably be like the 8th seed. Like they would be just before the playing, or they would probably be in the playing game. But if they're the 8th seed, I would go 8th seed on this one. But I think with Mitchell, they could creep into the top 5, top 4. I think that's how big of a difference. Because I mean, you got to think Mitchell is a better defender than McCollum. Mitchell's a better slasher than McCollum. McCollum's a great shooter. He's a great 3-point shooter. I don't love his defense. He's a great passer, but so is Mitchell. I just think Mitchell complements Williamson's play style so much better, along with Ingram, in the terms of the defense. And then you add Jose Alvarado, who's a great defender, would really be a role player to those guys that need to score. And then Valanciunas is a fucking beast. That guy's a double-double machine. So really, I mean, if they got him and Mitchell, added a legit point guard, this team would be dumb scary.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking good last year, obviously.
When healthy.
Yeah.
That's all I got to
say. They won the play-in games, and they made it into the first round, if you want to call it. Made a little bit of noise, but definitely an up-and-coming team. Yeah, I mean, I get it's a business, but how shitty would that be for C.J. McCollum? Well, I guess he got traded, right? So it wasn't really under his control. But either way, you go from Portland to New Orleans, and then you get shipped off to Utah. I mean, that's just like a crazy span of however many 6-7 months. I mean, hopefully he's got to hit up Zach Wilson. He'll get in the Cougar crowd.
I mean, Utah, I've heard, is actually really nice, but I don't think it's as nice as New Orleans. That's coming from me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Coming from the Saint who's marching in right there. All right, last but not least, Donovan Mitchell trade scenarios. Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks. Knicks get Mitchell. Jazz get R.J. Barrett, Evan Fournier, and 3 first-round picks.
I guess, I mean, how do you feel about that, AC Weezy?
I feel like this would be a typical Knicks move. They have a good young player in R.J. Barrett. They have a solid guy, Evan Fournier, who's been putting up good minutes for them. And, I mean, with that being said, the Knicks don't know how to fucking draft for the life of them. So it's not like they're going to be losing much with those first-round picks. Probably be right. It'd probably be a good move for them, but then it's like, who do they pair him up with? Like, are they are they hanging on to D Rose and Kemba? Are they gonna hang on to Randall? Like,
Well,
who,
Kemba got traded, right?
oh yeah, he's on the Pistons now. You're right.
For now.
Yeah. Um. So it's like who else is even on the roster without all these guys? You got Mitchell Robinson, who they just re-signed, is pretty good at the center position. Second year guy, I forget. He's been making a bunch of headlines in the summer league with his athleticism. But I guess I would want this to happen. And interesting enough, I got a Bleacher Report update not too long ago, Tyler. It's like if they said if Knicks get Donovan Mitchell, they should also try to pursue Russell Wilson or Russell Westbrook.
Why?
I don't know how that makes any sense. It's like you get one All-Star guard and then you want to get another guard who knows where he is at in his career. Obviously, they're saying a lot about the style of play, the offense that was ran last year in Los Angeles didn't really cater to his really skill set. So it'll be interesting, but I mean that would be the ultimate Knicks move, right? You trade away all your young guys that have shown potential. You get a couple vets in there, and then it's like you're just asking those two guys to go out and pretty much do what Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook did their whole career in whatchamacallit in Washington, right? And clearly that wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, I just thinking about that. RJ Barrett was, probably one of the Knicks' best scorers consistently last year. And, going out and trading him would just make no sense when RJ Barrett's going to have a lot longer longevity than Donovan Mitchell just based on age,
Mhm.
really.
They did just
Um,
sign Jalen Brunson. So
I
even
do
then,
like
so
I
even
do like
then,
Jalen. Why are you going after Westbrook then?
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you already have a guard you just paid a shit ton of money to, you get another guard, and then you're gonna pursue a third. How does that make any sense?
I do like Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is a good pickup. The amount of money they paid him, not so much. I know we said in the playoffs he was going to secure that bag. I mean, it being the Knicks money makes it even better in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I honestly like if I'm looking at it, you could put Mitchell at the two, Barrett at the three, have Randall at the four, and Robinson at the five. That's a stacked
Yeah,
fucking.
but they're getting rid of Barrett if they're receiving Mitchell. I feel like he's
But
got to be
why?
because the Jazz. That's who they want. I feel like.
I feel like if I'm the Knicks, I could get rid of more draft picks maybe or another player to get Mitchell.
Dude, just listen to how bad this roster is, though, with or without Donovan Mitchell. Ryan Arcidiacono, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickly, Julius Randle, Cam Reddish, Mitchell Robinson, Derrick Rose, Jericho Sims, that's the guy I was talking about, and Obi Toppin.
Oh, Jericho Sims is fucking nice.
Yeah, he's pretty
And
filthy.
also put some fucking respect on Quentin Grimes. He was fucking nasty in the NCAA tournament for
Yeah,
Houston.
but still, it's like, who is Mitchell even gonna try to play
I
with?
love I love Quickly. Quickly's also a nice young role player.
Role player.
Um,
It's a bunch of role players. That's all it is. You can't win with role players.
you add a Mitchell to that group, and it just enhances everybody's overall by 1 to 3 points, I would say.
I mean, if I don't know. If Mitchell couldn't get it done with Gobert and Ingles and what they had Derek Favors, right? I think for the past few years, like I don't see how he would get it done with this roster, especially with
If
Barrett leaving.
if I'm Mitchell, my favorite destination would be the New Orleans Pelicans. Out of the five that you listed, I think that's the most. I think that's the most exciting group that you could just like rush into because I love Brandon Ingram. That guy's a stud. He's a scorer.
Hmm.
Williamson, the best is yet to be remain seen with him, and you would honestly just throw yourself into a situation where you're the leader because you're the oldest guy there.
Yeah, I would say that and the Hornets. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say Donovan Mitchell is a Jordan Brand athlete. So obviously Charlotte
No, he's
Hornets.
Adidas.
Oh, you're right. Who am I thinking of then? Squash that little theory I had snowballing. That just got stopped right before it could even hit the next level of the hill. But anyways, Knicks are gonna Knicks. I don't know. With this roster right now, I don't even think they're a playoff team. Which is like,
What?
how do you get worse? How do you rebuild all those years, have a playoff run, get shut down by Ice Tray, and then obviously this year they didn't make the playoffs, and now they're just regressing and getting worse.
I mean, it's the Knicks. That's what they do best, you know.
Damn.
I will say, as a Nets fan, I would love that trade. I think the chances of it happening are the similar chances of me growing to 6'5".
Yeah. Uh,
Unlikely.
I mean, we saw South Park. You just gotta put a couple of testicles in your kneecaps and give you another few inches.
You know what we should play, Austin, is a game of Podal since we're doing so much NBA. Let's see if we can guess some guys.
Did we
We
get
haven't.
it? Did we get it last time?
I think we did. We definitely always get the NFL one in like two guesses.
Yeah, the NFL one we got in like two or three guesses. So he's, topic of conversation. Let's go with Donovan Mitchell for the first pick. Is in the West and is a guard.
Does that say jersey number lower?
Yeah, lower than 45. I mean, that's kind of a given. He's older than 25 and he's above 6'1". Um,
And he's in the East?
no, the West.
Oh, he is in the West.
Yeah, right? That's the green highlighted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like these podal things just make us look like complete idiots.
What about Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean,
Is that West? I'd assume so. What I don't understand the yellow.
it's
Like,
like
is he
within a
6'3" or
it's within one. So he's 6'3", or he's 6'4", excuse me.
Paul George is considered a forward, right?
Yeah. Also, it's in what's the other conference? The Northwest Pacific and Southwest. So, do fuck, what's his name?
Oh yeah, I was looking at conference.
Who else is in that conference?
CJ
Is
McCollum.
it Luca? No, Luca is younger,
He'd be younger.
and he's 77. That doesn't make sense.
We picked like one of the higher numbers in the NBA and then the absolute lowest. So the numbers
No in
category
between.
are definitely not helping us out. CJ McCollum, right? Maybe.
That's a good idea.
I don't know how tall he is.
He's definitely younger than.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, we're making headway.
So he's in that Southwest. I don't even know.
Doesn't play for the Pelicans.
Spurs.
Spurs, Mavericks, Pelicans, Rockets.
Okay.
What's the age?
25 to
25?
30.
It
Although
can't be anybody on the Rockets. The Rockets are all young.
I'm trying to think who was the other guard for the Spurs. It was DeJounte
It was
Murray.
Deontay Murray and fucking Lonnie Walker, I think.
Hmm. Well, he's younger.
Yeah, he is. I almost said Patty Mills.
We gotta try to get the team though, right? Like that would definitely
Yeah,
help.
yeah. I mean,
So who else is in Southwest? We said Spurs, Rockets,
Mavs, Pe
Mavs,
Pelicans, but that's not them. There has to be another team. Who's the other team?
Suns.
Is it
Chris
the
Paul?
Suns?
No, Chris Paul is older. It could be.
Isn't the Suns in the Pacific
Well,
though?
Booker, he's probably over 25. Let's try Booker.
I think that's the wrong.
Yeah, they're in the
Yeah, see Pacific. But you got the height, so what's the height?
6'5".
Hmm.
6'5" guard. I mean, who would the Mavs had? They had
Jalen Brunson.
Tim Hardaway.
You could try it. I would do it.
What does that mean? Why is it yellow on the Mavs? What the fuck does that mean? He played for the Mavs?
It must mean he's in the same state. So it has to be the Spurs.
Uh,
Tim Hardaway's 30, damn. Is
yeah.
that under number 11?
Yep. So it's 3 to 11. What did Rubio play for last year? He's not six
The
five though,
Cavs, I
right?
think.
No, I thought he was. Hmm.
Go to the silhouette.
What the hell? That doesn't help shit.
Sometimes it does. Um,
Oh, I think I know who it is. Wait,
who?
I I think it's the guy on the Mavs. I think he's number 10.
That's
But
Brunson.
no, but I thought no, he was a
Oh,
forward.
Brunson was 13.
Fuck, dude, I don't know. Should we just guess a Spurs player and see if we're on the right page?
Guess Lonnie Walker.
Well, he
Whoa,
was
he's
on
on
the
the
Lakers.
Lakers?
Fuck, we're going backwards. All right, any Hail Mary guesses?
I don't even know who's on the Spurs.
I mean,
Polo's on the
who
Spurs.
was on the Rockets? This could have been like a old.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, but there could have been like an old guy.
Damn, I really don't know the Rockets like that.
I'm gonna say Rubio.
Rubio was on the Cavs.
Shit. I thought he was on the Mavs for some reason.
This is pathetic. Do Doncic. Let's get the Mavs now. I'm just messing. Don't do that.
Oh, let's start typing in letters. A. S. Stanley Johnson. Who's he play for?
I don't
Georges Niang. Buddy Hield. Tyus Jones. There's Stanley Johnson.
Again.
Josh Richardson.
I think he was on the Heat.
Larry. What position is Larry Nance? He was on the.
He's a power forward.
Fuck.
Damn, I really have no
Campaign?
idea. Campaign was on the Suns.
Right, but
Um,
he's in the or no, they're in the Pacific.
Yeah, Campaign is on the Suns. So who are we narrowing it down to? The Rockets?
I think it's got to be the Rock. If what you're saying is yellow means it's in the same state, then it's got to be Rockets or
It's either got to be
Spurs.
Spurs, yeah. The Rockets are just so young. Wouldn't make sense for them to be. I legit have no idea who's on the Spurs because they've traded everybody.
Yeah.
Just put Deontay Murray. Fuck it.
I mean, I think he's younger than 25. It was Josh Richardson.
Oh my god,
Dude, I said Josh Richardson sounds like something that it could be, and of course it is. God damn it.
Josh Richardson was on the fucking Heat last year.
That would have been
Who did he play for? What does it
the
say?
Spurs.
Motherfucker.
Damn, dude. For some reason Josh Richardson popped up, and I'm like, that seems like it could be him. You want to do Wodle? Weddle?
Weddle? Yeah, might as well. Man, next time go with your gut. Don't blame me.
My gut is usually good. Okay. What are we guessing here? I'll let you pick it.
Alvin Kamara.
Not surprised. So it is a running back under
I
26.
think I'm like 3 for 3 on those.
Let's see. Who's a younger
Well, under
guy?
41, so we're good on
AJ
that.
Dillon.
But okay, you're not wrong. I mean,
Whoa, 24 years old, taller than 6 foot. Is it Derrick Henry?
it has to be.
Who else is that tall? Whoa. Okay. Number
22.
22. CJ, no.
Plays in the AFC South. Or
So
maybe the AFC South?
oh,
No.
wait, Jonathan,
AFC
no. What number is Jonathan Taylor?
28.
Yeah.
No, it's not the AFC South because that would be green.
So what does that mean? What does yellow mean?
It's like next to it. So what's
The NFC South?
no? It's in the AFC. AFC what? It can't be West.
AFC North? East? I don't know. Who's number 22?
So he's 24. He's a young running back,
Damn.
smaller than 6'3". Can't be. Oh, it's fucking Christian McCaffrey.
Hmm. No, he's not that tall.
Do it. Do it.
I
Do
will,
it.
but
Do it. Do it.
he's not that tall.
Damn it.
5'11", bub.
Damn it.
We had the age too. Derrick Henry. He's not 24. Uh
So he's
oh,
20.
whoa. Jamal Hasty, right? He's number 22, right?
Who does he play for?
The 49ers?
No, it has to be AFC. We messed up. 22. Is it your boy on the Broncos?
No, he's 30. Wait, Melvin Gordon. No, he's not 24.
He's 20. Oh yeah, you're right.
Wait, who is the Chargers have anyone? No.
That's Eckler. He's 30 though.
Yeah, but who is what's the other guy? He's not 22, is it?
No.
Jackson, Justin Jackson, is that his name?
He might actually be 22, but I doubt that that's him. Don't do
Is
it.
that his name? It's something
Justin
Jackson.
Jackson.
I thought that's what it was. He's not even on the list, so it can't be him.
Must be like active players.
Should we
Dude, we're
just
fucking sucking tonight.
scroll down the list? It's so.
AFC. What about your boy Najee Harris?
Oh, that's definitely him. Good call.
Bingo, bango, boomo, baby.
I don't know why my brain was just farting all over the place there. Couldn't think of anything.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, Austin, did you see today they took down all the Heinz products that they had around the stadium?
Yeah, so what happened? They sold it and it's no longer Heinz.
Yeah, so they changed the name from Heinz Field to like at. You're gonna have to look it up. It's like some fucking stupid name. Acronym. I want to say like acronym, but
Acquisir,
yeah,
Acquisir. What the hell is that?
it's a good question.
Acquisir insurance
There's
company.
there's nothing that pisses me off more than stupid changes like this.
Yeah.
Like there will never. That's like changing Lambeau Field. You know.
Well, they would never do that.
Well, I don't understand why they changed Heinz Field because that's what it felt to me, Austin.
Is Hunt's ketchup
Yes.
doing more productive than Heinz these days, or what? Maybe they don't have enough money to keep it. That's kind of sad, dude.
Never that. I mean, Heinz is forever goated.
Yeah. What else do we have? Oh, golf, right? This was it, the Scottish Open.
Yes.
Cam Smith edges out
Ozzy.
edges out Rory McIlroy. As if the mullet wasn't back yet, it is now fully back. Cam Smith sporting the mullet with AUS, the Australia initials, engraved in the side of his head. Overall, great performance. Let me see if I can pull up
The guy deserves it
stats.
too. I mean, especially after what happened. Was it what major was it that he lost? Was it it was the Masters, right? With Scotty Scheffler?
I don't know.
He was like in second place the whole entire time, and Scotty ended up beating him. But I'm happy for Cam Smith. I think he's an amazing golfer. It's great to see Rory back. It's nice to see him up on the leaderboards again. everybody and their mom on the golf course this weekend was rooting for Rory and was very
Oh
upset
yeah.
that he lost. So,
I
but
mean, he
I think
showed
it's
out. He showed out. He shot a solid performance. He didn't lose. He shot 18 under. He just got beat. Cam Smith, shot a bad 73 on Saturday. Comes back on Sunday with a 64. Just enough to edge out Cameron Young. Shoots 20 under par. So Tyler, while we're on the topic of golf, real quick, obviously Live Golf. It's a big hot topic right now. They're recruiting a bunch of big name guys. Obviously, notably Dustin Johnson's probably one of the biggest. Um, and as of today, I think one of the best golf commentators in the game, John Fogerty, has announced that he will be signing with Live Golf. I don't know if that means he won't be able to work with the PGA anymore, but I'm still not sold that Live is going to be successful. I'm still getting XFL vibes, but they're scratching and clawing. They're getting some pretty big name guys. If you've seen clips of the tournaments thus far, the turnout hasn't really been that great. What do you think the Live is here to stay? Do you think the two can coexist? That being Live and PGA. What is your thoughts on the whole situation?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. It just feels like a land of misfit toys and opportunities for golf. Yeah, of course the money's green, but how much money are they gonna throw to, throw to this activity that the Saudis are throwing into it? Because I feel like it doesn't have the longevity, it doesn't have the allure, it doesn't have that prestige that the PGA will always have, and that's just because it's been around for hundreds of years. So I don't think Live is here to stay. I mean, do I think it can coexist? Yes, and I think it could act as like a kind of like a training ground almost for like guys that aren't good enough to be in the PGAs, but just need a few more years before they make the jump. I don't know. I just feel like this is a sport that you can't have multiple leagues in with golf, kind of like NASCAR. Like you can't have multiple NASCARs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only one.
Right.
NBA, yeah, we there's leagues overseas and whatnot. NFL, there's only one. I mean, can't have that much disparity, I guess, because there's not that many players that are
Right.
professional.
Yeah, I think the thing with that too is like golf is such like a prestigious, like historic sport. A lot of their fans and the whole demographic. I feel like respect and commitment is really like one of their main characteristics. So like I feel like a lot of golf fans wouldn't want to switch up. However, Tyler, we are seeing a shift in the world of golf and the way it's being played. Back when I first started playing golf, it's like you wouldn't have dreamed of someone playing like a speaker on the course, right? Now that kind of seems like the new norm. A lot of younger people are getting into it. There's a lot more YouTube, TikTok content around the golf world. So I'm with you right now. I don't really see Live being a long term type of thing, but I think it's probably more possible than you and I are willing to accept.
Yeah, I mean, all they need is like major shift of guys to just be like, we're going to Live. More
Hmm.
than Dustin Johnson, more than Phil Mickelson, guys like Justin Thomas and you know, well, Tiger would probably never do it. He's already declined it.
Like Tiger, I think JT and Rory maybe spoke out against ever leaving the PGA Tour. So I mean, those are a lot of the big name guys right there. I could definitely see Brooks Koepka
Oh, I
joining
could see
Live.
Brooksy. I could see Bryson already did, didn't he?
I don't think so.
I could see him doing it because he's a fucking loser.
I mean, Brooks he's been very outspoken. Like, I don't play golf. Like, he just competes and he pretty much like practices, the week leading up to a tournament. But he's like, I do not play in my leisure time. I do not practice like these other guys. I just go out and do what I do and make money. So I feel like this kind of tailors to that type of scenario
Oh,
perfectly.
100%. Brooks is a classic frat boy douchebag. And that's why he'll have only ever been on top of the leaderboard once in his life,
Mm.
because he'll never amount to that ever again.
Bleach hair gang. Bleach hair gang.
Stop.
All right, that's all I got. You got any last words for him?
No, sir. Go Raiders.
All right. Oh, well, we got to talk about it, Tyler, real quick. Sorry if I'm keeping you up, but obviously an article came out, ESPN. Who will be more in trouble without the other, Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams? I feel like this is just like a perfect conversation because we both have opposing opinions. I will allow myself to go first. I think clearly the answer is Devontae Adams. The wide receiver position is very much dependent on how well the quarterback plays. The quarterback that he's playing with in this next upcoming season just isn't it. Derek Carr, he's had plenty of time, plenty of seasons to prove if he is the guy. He hasn't shown up. And all the naive, brain dead Raiders fans are saying, "Oh, Derek Carr is a great quarterback. We just need a top tier receiver." Well, it's like, okay, Aaron Rodgers, clearly he doesn't need Devontae Adams because he's never really had like great receiving cores, right? Devontae's been a guy. He's had Jordy Nelson. Okay, great, undrafted guy out of who knows where. I think he went to, or actually I do know where, Kansas State. But it's like he's done it with the James Jones, with the Randall Cobb, with these nobody guys. I mean, the only first round draft pick he's thrown a touchdown to is Mercedes Lewis. So the fact that anyone could argue that Aaron Rodgers is going to be in more trouble without Devontae as opposed to vice versa, it just doesn't know what they're talking about. But I'll let you voice your opinion.
You just had to end it like that.
Yeah.
I think, Austin, that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be as productive as he would be with Devontae Adams. So therefore, I think that it's going to be a slight advantage to Devontae Adams because of not only the offense that McDaniels is going to scheme up for him, but the freeance that he's going to have with Hunter Renfrow, with the Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs in the backfield. There's still a giant question mark, obviously, Austin, on the offensive line regarding the Las Vegas Raiders. That remains to be seen. But I think that let's not forget Devontae Adams and Derek Carr already have the chemistry together from college. They're a tandem that, shocked the college football world back in 2013, or I think it was 2013 when they were together, and, put up crazy amounts of points against other teams. Did my AirPods just go?
Yep.
We're good. That the Raiders are going to be one of the best teams in the AFC next season. Is the answer that lack without Devontae Adams?
Yeah, so I think you may need to take out the other AirPod because it's switching back and forth between your laptop and your AirPods. You're cutting in and out. Should be good now.
Is it good?
Or your phone rather. I think so. I guess my only question is, what do you view a more successful season? Like better stats or which team performs better?
I mean, that's a loaded question because I feel like individually, yeah, obviously it's stats, but I think you put Devontae Adams on either one of those teams, and he's gonna make the team a lot better. Just like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you put Aaron Rodgers on any team, he's gonna make anybody better than they already are. But
Mm-hmm.
I think in comparison to last season without Devontae Adams, the Packers are gonna probably not win as many games, where the Raiders have a better shot of winning more games with a guy like Devontae Adams.
All right. I think you danced around the question a little bit, but I'll take it.
What was the question?
I said, are you viewing a more successful season as individual stats or how the team performs overall?
So a more successful season for
Like if Aaron Rodgers gets another MVP, but the Raiders make it to the AFC Championship game, or vice versa, Devontae gets another like wide receiver one season and the Packers make it to the NFC Championship game. Who has a better season?
So I guess that begs the question of what was the original question
Who
that
needs who
ESPN had
more?
said. What's that?
Who needs who more?
Well, that would just be like if Aaron Rodgers got the MVP, Aaron Rodgers really doesn't need Devontae.
Mm-hmm. But if they make
Where
it to the Super Bowl or NFC Championship game, they probably don't need him either.
exactly. I mean, I think it's just tough because you know how I am. Like Devontae Adams, obviously, I don't think he needs Aaron Rodgers, but I definitely don't think Aaron Rodgers needs Devontae Adams. You've said that. Like he's
Hmm.
proved it before in the past. He doesn't need a guy like Devontae. He's a great quarterback. So I
Hmm.
think it's a tough question for me because I think they're gonna coexist with it, or they're gonna be just as good with out each other as they are with each other because they're
Hmm.
two of the best in the world.
Yeah, only time will tell. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I think the Raiders are gonna have a better record than the Packers, but I'm not gonna bet you on it.
This guy's been huffing tile at the store all day or something. What do you use to put the tile down? That
Thin set.
yeah, got too much of that up your nostrils, but nah, we'll see what happens.
They
I
don't
think
make cocaine like they used to.
no, clearly not. We're that's gonna be it. No Look Podcast. I'll be right back with Monday Night Gaming. Until next time.
Late.